Morning, everybody. This is Wednesday, May the 12th, May 13th, sorry, 2026, 9 o'clock right now. I am Bill Kanda, Custer County Board Chairman of the Board of Commissioners. And if you got a phone, and we happen to have two, I'm going to silence both of them. Yep. Silence your phones. And please stand. We'll call this meeting to order, and I'll pledge flags in the back.
Back right side of the thing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please bow your heads for the invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here today once again to conduct the official business of our county. We ask that you watch over us, help us make the managerial decisions that are needed to be made this day for the benefit of our county citizens. We do this in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Paul. Roll call, Kelly.
Mr. Kanda.
Here.
Present.
Mr.
Here.
BOCC admin Kate Womack here, and clerk to the board, Kelly Camper president.
Thank you, Kelly. Audience introductions. Let's start in the back there. Name in the back.
Back.
Can you give us your name? Yeah, I'm looking right at you. I'll stand up so everybody can see. We always introduce the audience so we know who we're talking to for the record. So your name. Got it. Kelly's recording. Next.
Sexton.
And
Greg Godfrey. Usually.
Vince Rodenbridge.
Boston Community Sources person name.
Taylor.
Taylor Lepresky.
Dean Sharp.
Brian Canizaro.
Hold on now. Get you.
Hey.
Jim.
Shatton.
Yeah, Arthur.
Jeff Trent.
This is the second Jim.
James Gilbert.
Clifton Locks.
And
Jim Roby.
okay. Got them all paid.
Yeah.
All right. Now how many online? You got anybody?
Online, Brian, Cindy Howard, Debbie Van Dorn, Lisa, Peggy Collins, Rob Klein, Sherry Gregory, and Vernon Roth.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And we'll have them announce the name. That way Kelly can be sure to get the name if they speak later. All right. Okay, do we have any amendments to the agenda?
We've got two amendments. We need to add two things. One is for the Office of Emergency Management interim position posting. And then the other one is Tourism Board Deb Adams ex officio resignation acceptance.
Yeah.
Very good.
I will just put those between 2630 and Justice Center discussion.
Right. Okay, good. Anything else, Paul? You got anything?
Don't have anything.
Same here, good. So with that, I'll move that we approve the minutes of April the 29th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of April 29th, 2026. Regular meeting of the Board of County Commissioners.
I'll second that.
And that one, the second, April 26th.
April 29th, 2026.
Okay.
Get that.
All right, any other questions? We don't have any discussion on that. Good, thank you, Kelly. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay, Commissioner items. Lucas, you get to start today.
It's the last meeting that we had. We attended, or I attended, the annual Board of Health training with other commissioners around the state. State provided that. It was an hour long. We had a special tourism board meeting to come up with a strategic plan or do more strategic planning and get ready for this season that is upon us. That board has drastically changed in the last 3-4 months. So it's they're just kind of trying to communicate better with each other and get on the same page and come up with what they want to do and go through the legislature and be more concise with where the money goes. We had a PDS, the second quarter update. That's our IT third party vendor. They went through our infrastructure, where we're at, where we need to go, what we're doing. So attended that meeting. Community Service Hub meeting this past Monday. Went through through with the vendor on the child care needs assessment that is here. The big thing is before 2020, before COVID, we had a lot of friends and family network. So there was a lot of family, with a lot of friends that did in-home health care, or they swapped, mothers swapped. A lot of that stopped after COVID. And we're not sure exactly what we're going to do about that, but that probably would take care of a lot of our needs quicker and sooner and less less government involvement, but that's kind of what we got out of that, or some of what we got out of that. Had another we had the regular Custer County Tourism Board meeting yesterday. So just trying to make those meetings shorter. Those are online now, so anybody can zoom in to those. Reviewed AP yesterday with our AP clerk and BOCC admin. Had an OEM workshop since our OEM's retiring. So coming up with a plan there for an interim and then for long term. Had a strategic planning session yesterday with public health on just where do we want to go? What do we see out there? What is relative to our community right here in Custer, not on a national level, right here in Custer. Status meeting with our IT director last night, walking through changes that we're making and stuff like that. And then because of changes we made in public health, we were able to pull one of our full-time employees out of there, and we've got her working on special projects. We're cleaning up documents that are down in the basement that have been put into boxes, and maybe they came out of old file cabinets, and we're gonna go through those, organize those, digitize those, get those in our new SharePoint system. If they're relevant, we've got a retention policy based upon the state archivist. And so we're going to take all that. We're going to put anything that needs to be shredded that's out of date or that we've already scanned in, put it in a box. And then that's going to go before the commissioners to put together a resolution to shred those items. So be all out in front. So that's what I've been up to.
That's
And thanks. Go ahead.
had a pretty busy week and little history on the weed board. We have a gentleman that's going to be doing our weed spray and everything. We have a resolution on that. I'll be reading that later on, bring you up to date on that and how we're getting our weeds taken care of. Attended the fair board meeting Monday night. Everything is up and running and looking great on timeline and everything. We're even getting some new holding stalls and everything installed with some of the monies that they had. And so our fairground is doing a little bit of a facelift in some areas. You'll see that if you attend the fair, and look forward to that. Also working with a team of people on EMS for Wetmore zip code. If you are unaware of that, the zip code for Wetmore opted out of EMS and everything. That's when we had an agreement with Florence Fire and EMS to come over and service Wetmore. Well, since then, they not gone past mile marker 16. So there's a team of people working with the hospice district clinic to see if we can have some kind of a share pay or whatever on that. I'll bring you up to date as I know more on that. The other is that the fire ban has been lifted for our county, but we haven't changed the dryness out there much. And just a word, just if you see smoke, report it. And just be real careful if you have any open flames out of the actual wood burning stove. That's all I have.
Okay, along that fire ban point is, does everybody know how to get a permit to do it? If you don't, the way it's set up now is you get on the fire department's website and you can fill out the form to get a permit to burn now that you can. And then it's a simple call, you know, you can just let them know that you're going to burn on such and such a day and you can burn. And that will happen until we decide it's too dry. And that would be made by the sheriff and the fire department. That's where we got the authority. We delegated that to them. So that's how you do it. And if you're going to do it, you ought to do it now because I think it's going to be harder to burn later on. If you're like us, we've got a lot of brush and grass that we got to get rid of.
If I can add to that, Bill, just if you are going to have neighbors getting ready to do a burn, make sure there's a water capability nearby, either a hose or however they have water in case you get a wind gust or whatever and it starts to spread ashes. Just be aware.
Okay, and along that lines, Upper Ark, I'll be going to that meeting tomorrow. The Upper Ark, I'm the member ex officio for that, and I'm working on getting them up here for another presentation. We had a pretty good turnout, not good enough the last time they were up. You need to understand what they're doing. They're raising the level of Lake DeWeese another 4 feet to get more water. And that has some impacts. Other things, Round Mountains got a pond that they've got going as well. So it's good to get an update to see where they're headed and why they're necessary. Also, our favorite, yes.
On that, Bill, Upper Ark, where they getting the water at to raise the extra?
That's all done after the run up when you're at the end of the season and there's nobody calling for water, they raise it without injury to anybody downstream.
So then who is gonna be able to use this water?
It's used to augment water downstream as well as they take water out of safe. They also
Through Upper Ark, so you have to buy water from Upper Ark.
no, you don't buy it. There's a whole here. Those are good. Those are great questions. That's why I want to get them up here so they can explain what the process is. And that's good. Very good question. And it's not as hard to understand if they keep it simple and how they do it.
You have to buy and replace the water, you're out of.
It's a by year charge of X month dollars for the year. That would be up to them. So we'll have to talk to them about it. And that's why I want to get them here. The more they're up here, the better it is because there's a lot of people that are new all the time. They don't understand it. Even the old timers don't. You know, that's a fact.
Hey,
And you are allowed to do with your water. It's your water rights, and you can sell them out of the valley if you want to.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the Upper Ark is trying to keep the water in the valley. And that's what we need to hear what their strategic plan is. Okay. So the other point that is our favorite TV tower, Bunker Hill, is down again. This is Channel 11. It turns out, and they're up here today. They had to come back because it's not as simple as they thought. It looks like it's not a transmitter problem. It's a reception problem on the new system. So they're here to figure that out. It's under warranty. Figure out what the problem is. Channel 13 is good. Transmitter and receiver is good. Excuse me, got a frog today. So TV's out right now, and it's affecting a couple people on Oak Creek grade that really like Channel 11, and people that like Channel 11 on the near end, the closer to the mountain you get, the more apt you are to be, the signal gets broadcast over the top of you and you're catching part of it. And so that's an issue too. It's just how it's aimed. It's where you locate your house too. So that's an issue. The airport meeting went well, and Paul was there when we found that we have 4 cars. We're going to bring a couple of them back here, and what are we going to do with them, Lucas? We're going to sell them.
Yeah.
Make a buck on them. There's a couple Durangos out there. And they are courtesy cars that people use to come in and actually spend money in town. They drive to town, come to town. So we also have magnetic signs that businesses can put on the side of those cars and advertise your business. And we are going to be talking about the generator today for the airport. I believe it's on the agenda.
Yep.
So that's an emergency generator because you want to have, we are very lucky. We have had the grants to support that airport that have been tremendous. And we have a 12,000 gallon Jet A tank and a 12,000 gallon jet regular avgas tank. And the Jet A is critical for safety reasons, for support to the National Guard that comes up here to rescue people off of Crestone Needles, as well as medevac planes coming back and forth. And you've all seen some of that success story where the helicopter couldn't transfer fuel, had a person was critical to get to the hospital, and they had to hover while they loaded that fuel up on the thing. So it saved a life. And it saved a couple of them, actually. So we look for more of that. And the latest grant that we have right now from the state is for lights, so that it can be used at night or in bad conditions where you need the position, your attitude lights coming in for the glide slope and the lead-in lights for the runway. So those are long-term things that the Department of Transportation Aviation branch are using us sort of as the poster child for rural airports. We're on the National Aviation system now. Okay, and I think that's all I need to talk about with, other than their other meetings we've all been attending. We've had a lot of good workshops. So
Yeah.
thank you, everybody that attends them. Okay. Anything else here? We got Dan Slater's on his way in. We can catch up with him. He's coming from Pueblo. He got delayed getting there. He should be here in another 20 minutes or so, less than that, probably. And we'll see what he's got to say when he gets here. So how about Caitlin?
For few notes, the planning commission hearing that was scheduled for last Wednesday was canceled. Anything that was supposed to be during that hearing has been moved to the June 3rd hearing.
Due to weather.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
canceled due to the weather.
The whole board was out of town.
Yeah, and that's a good one. It's a couple special use permits were on that, I believe.
Yeah.
Yet to be determined.
I will not be here for the May 28th meeting. This decided to schedule an event right during this meeting time. John Mapes will be here to run the Zoom for that meeting. And then speaking of Zoom, I just wanted to do a little housekeeping for Zoom. That is the majority of my job for these meetings, is to monitor the Zoom as well as putting things up on the big screen. But anyone that wants to speak on a topic from the Zoom audience, all they need to do is simply unmute themselves or raise their hands. And then I will let you guys know that they have a comment.
You see the unmute, is that what you're saying? Okay,
Instead of just going ahead and speaking without the acknowledgement.
right.
And then also anyone that is watching on the YouTube live stream, YouTube is not monitored for comments at all. So if you want to submit a comment, it needs to be done through the Zoom. So you can also type a comment into the chat
On Zoom.
So.
Right.
Just a few housekeeping.
All right.
Okay.
Unfinished business. I don't have anything.
We don't have any, nothing.
Okay, new business. So as usual, because we are total transparency, we will allow questions, comments afterwards, but we're going to keep them short. And if you got a good point to make, we sure want to hear it. Accounts payable, Lucas.
All right, I'll go through all the items that are 5,000 and over. For AP, this is through 5/13, so the last couple weeks. Our vendor is CIC, it's our financial software, it's for our annual subscription, it's billed to finance in the amount of $16,376.66. Redlands Accounting, it's our third-party accounting service to finance for April services, $5,250. HR for their CIC Software annual subscription, $5,345. Our health insurance to Meritain Health for our claims in the amount of $24,163.62. Again, our CIC annual subscription charge for the county treasurer in the amount of $16,586.66. CIC to our annual subscription for buildings and grounds is $10,625.
CIC is the software for the finance department.
Yes. County jail for Fremont Sheriff. It's where we do our inmate housing. March's bill was $5,566. Henry Clark got transferred way sooner than what we thought, so
Yeah.
that'll save a
Save some
chunk of money. County coroner to Eric's Electric, it's for his morgue, $5,919. Road and Bridge to McFarland Oil for fuel, $36,590. Road and Bridge to Seifert for natural materials, $6,754. And Custer County Kids Council to Kate Kalstein, our contractor for the early childhood needs assessment, that was paid for by a grant, state grant, in the amount of $5,000. So the total for this last 2 weeks AP run, $252,234.36.
Good. $252,234.36. And that's through 5/13, correct?
Yes.
She wasn't the first, but she,
That is the amended amount.
that's, okay, I didn't get the amended reports.
Oh.
Okay, any other points up here? Any comments out here? Anybody? Everybody got it? Okay, then I'll call for a motion for that. I'll move 250, that we approve the AP report good through 5/13 to the amount of $252,234.36.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any more discussion? Any out here? None. Therefore, I will call for that vote. All in favor, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Tanda, aye. Thanks. Okay, we got the star of the show. Road and Bridge is up. Consideration of the road grader. Set the stage for everybody. Vince?
Okay, what Road and Bridge is doing, we are purchasing a used grader from Chaffey County. It's $215,000 and $900 brand new grader for Road and Bridge is $401,000 today's price. So to buy this grader, we got to sell one of our used graders. It's a John Deere 872. It's a 2008. So I'm here with the commissioners, so approved to sell this grader. It's going to start costing the county and the taxpayers money for maintenance. Maintenance is not transmission alone in this grader that we have now, the 2008, is $22,000, $25,000 to replace it. Motor $40,000 to replace it if you got to replace it. And so we're going to update our grader to a new year. This is a 2021.
That particular grader has been averaging what, 25,000 a month or something like that?
The grader's been averaging $22,000 a year to operate
Or a
it
year, I should say.
when it breaks down. It's had the fuel systems, you know, a fuel system, if you put a fuel pump on it, injectors, all the fuel lines, it can cost $16,000 to replace all that.
Okay, and then the grader you want has less hours?
Yeah, it's got 2,700 hours on it. And the reason Chaffey County is getting rid of the grader, it's not because it's a piece of junk. They're going to a lease program, Chaffey County, strictly lease, and that's why they're selling the grader.
This was used in Buena Vista.
It's in Buena Vista.
Okay, and Vince brought it up. We have to have money to spend, buy it. And that's why we want to sell this one first. And that the minimum bid that we'll recommend based on what our workshop yielded was around $70,000 in order to baseline minimum bid. That we will accept. We won't accept anything less than that, and that will lay it open for people to bid on. If they want to buy it, bid 80K or whatever they would like. But we will not sell it. If it doesn't make the 80,000, we will put it on Purple Wave or somewhere else.
No,
Not Purple Wave deals. They go down. Gov deals.
And then they also got Facebook Marketplace, which doesn't cost the county to put a piece of equipment on that Facebook Marketplace. You can go out like 200-mile radius from Custer County.
Right.
So,
And the reason we're doing it this way is because we'd like to give the citizens of the county, the contractors here in the county, an opportunity to buy it. It's a pretty good price for a grader. $500,000, otherwise it's almost $250,000.
Yeah.
But this way it's $70,000.
and there will be a maintenance sheet with this grader for the public or contractor to come and see Dan or I and look at the grader and see what's been done with the grader since Custer County Road and Bridges owned the grader till present maintenance.
I can add to that, that the grader they were selling is getting 40 hours a week usage out of it. And the season just started for road maintenance. And that one usually goes down and needs maintenance about once a week or every 2 weeks. So, another reason that we need to move on.
Also, part of that, you might want to mention this, Lucas, the money that we will use is capital improvement. And then we're working on how we can refinance, not refinance, but rework the leases that we currently have to get them in smaller payment. John Deere's working with us to do that possibly right now.
Yeah, so the Buena Vista motor grader, we've already purchased. And we're making payments on it. That's what the decision was the last time we met.
Right.
Right.
So we're selling this grader because the costs that are coming up on it are gonna be huge. And we've got a lot of hours on this one, so so if we approve to vote on this one, we do have a balloon payment on 221s coming up in the amount of around $300,000 to $360,000. What I'm looking at doing is, and what I'm getting from the bank is numbers to take those payments out on that balloon payment to essentially or pay it off, but get options so that we have options when we go to do this to keep all of our payments across the board within the capital improvement fund to be around the same amount every single year. So we're under what we bring in every year. We bring in about 450 conservatively in sales tax and other fees that fund that capital improvement fund. So
Unlike the federal government, we can't print money and we work within the budget. And then that means if we do need the grader, that's one of the critical things: safety, security, and the communication of the graders. The roads are critical. Those are with everything else fails, the money's not there. Those are the last three things that will remain. So we do the best we can to do that each year, and we'll be making our next year's budget here coming up pretty soon. Be looking at it.
September.
Okay, so therefore, you want to sell it?
Yep.
And you want to get no less than 70K. Okay, got a motion?
I'll make a motion to sell grader 1 with a minimum price of $70,000.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to sell this grader for 70,000 minimum. And we will put it on the website. How are you going to post it?
Road and Bridge will do it.
With Caitlin.
Yeah, we'll work with her.
Put it out there and we'll take bids.
We can do it ourselves. It's up to you guys. I can put it on. Sherry and I.
So talk to the sheriff's department because they've been doing most of that with gov deals. So
Okay. Yep, we can do it.
That'd be a good way to get it out there, and we'll how much time we want to give them.
till sales.
If it doesn't sell,
But we need to review it probably every couple weeks.
right?
See if we need to come below that more.
So get it on there and spread the word to the contractors.
Yeah.
All right.
Discussion.
Any other discussion? Anybody out here got a comment? Anybody online? Comment over here. State your
For
name.
Golden Bridge Superbike, would it be cost efficient to put the graders at the airport or one at the landfill instead of going to the barn, sit on it for an hour, grade, and then leave an hour early to put it back at the barn?
The reason we was bringing them in earlier this month and last month is cold. These John Deere graders we have right now, they don't like the cold. They're very hard to start. But right now, we're on a job site on County Road 271. The two graders out there have been parked and the roller have been parked out there. They're not coming in every night. But it's warm enough where they'll start.
And in fact, that's a good point because we even want to base a fire truck at the airport. Why have
Oh, yeah.
a,
Makes sense.
okay. All right, any other comments? Okay, I'll call for the vote on that. All in favor of selling grader one as we presented, say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Paul?
Volos on a,
Kanda, aye.
very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Sheriff's Office, I'm gonna go contract.
You.
You got a contract here. Yeah, I got a copy of it. So this contract is with Omnigo Software LLC. They do law enforcement type software programs. In this case, it's records management, the continuous training, consulting and support for those, as well as the base framework. Total contract value is $2,507.68. I think that's the only piece of that. You get the bottom line cost, Kelly.
Yeah, she had.
So this includes use of force incident reporting, summons, and racial profiling things for the sheriff's office, as well as the training and consulting and support. Okay, I'll move that we approve this contract for $2,507.68. It's been moved and seconded. The discussion here. No, gotta be done. Anybody out here? Okay, then therefore I'll call for that vote. All in favor, say aye. Lucas.
Aye.
Paul.
Volos on a.
Kanda, aye.
Does we have an online comment? It's like
Who was it?
Napa.
Gary Napa.
That's for the next, that's for the emergency airport generator project. I just wanted to double check.
Alright, please hold your comments until they open it up.
Very good.
Or next.
Yeah, okay. You jumped the gun.
Yeah, just.
Okay, before we go any further, Dan, you have anything to bring up before we go any further?
No.
Not normal things?
No.
Okay,
Thanks. Sorry, I'm late.
so okay, we got the word.
We understand.
Okay, so the next one up then is the airport emergency generator project, and we brought that up before, and they had several options, a couple contractors. And airport board themselves did a trade study on it and have recommended purchasing a base generator. And that would be, let's see here.
There would be.
It's, I don't have the,
30,000.
What is
yes, 30,000 is the estimate. Oh, there it is. The airport board would like to execute this portion of 30K of the 65K the airport improvements line has in their budget already. So it's just letting us know that's how they're gonna take that budget that's they planned for this anyway. And they did pick a good option here. They had options that included some higher power looking for the future, but that was a bit too much. And we have 2 meters out there. So the issue is connecting the 2 on the generator. So you can service the avgas tank as well as the Jet A tank in an emergency. You don't want to, the lights are out. You sure need the emergency stuff that's going on at the airport to continue. So that's the program. Got a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the airport's emergency generator project.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the recommendation from the airport to spend their money on the generator.
Generator.
Any questions out here?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Good morning. I don't know if this is the time or place to bring this up, but I just noticed, the tentative agenda yesterday, so I thought I'd get online. I've talked to the county commissioners about the power source that runs the airport. And since you're talking about emergency energy, I thought maybe I'd just chime in for a second. As you know, we own the ranch right across the street, County Road, from the airport. And the power that supports that airport and the 120 meters to the south and east of that airport all run through this 7,000 volt trunk line. So when we talk about emergency energy for the airport, that choke point is a concern that I think we've brought up to the commissioners before. And since you're talking about emergency energy, I don't know if this is a time to bring it up and tie it in as questions that should be answered or settled or budgeted for. I'm really not sure, but I wanted to throw it out on the table, see if you guys have
Okay, Gary,
considered it.
good, very good point, and we do recall that, and that would require, and we should do a workshop for that. Take a look at the big picture and see what we have. It has nothing to do with this emergency generator right now, of course, because the choke
Gotcha.
point
Gotcha.
exists.
Well, it is emergency power, and we don't want the power going down to the airport, much less the other 120 meters. So, and it has flooded. It has flooded before. So let's just, if you could pursue
Yeah.
that check work point or works, whatever you call it, a work thing. Nothing's happened for a year. I'd
Yeah,
like to
that
put it
would be
back on the floor.
good thing to do, and just so everybody knows, to the north of the airport is a gulch, and that's where the line goes through. So we choke it there too. So
That's
we'll have to
correct.
work that.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for the comment.
I'll be in town in June. I'll reach out to you guys.
Okay. Any other comments online? None here. So hearing none, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of the airport emergency generator project being funded as presented, say aye. Lotus.
Aye.
Oh,
Lotus on.
Kanda. Okay, next up, we've got the mandatory employee supervisor trainings that we've been talking about. And Bob, come on up and we'll see where we stand on it.
We're spinning. Good morning, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Navajo Bob today.
Navajo.
So we had some discussions with the board on trainings that we need to do for employees and supervisors. One of them specifically, for employees, the state of Colorado has regulations that require specific training that employers in Colorado must do. This was on this schedule, takes care of that. Additionally, as a in-service trainings for additional for supervisors and managers. So what you have is a schedule for 2 days of in-service training, July 22nd and 23rd, here in this building for all employees. Is then another set of schedules for supervisors and managers. Again, so this being for you to approve those trainings to be mandatory for those individuals to participate. Now, in addition, going forward outside of the schedule, there will be more training on different topics that will come out. But this is to make these trainings mandatory. The instructors will be out of CTSI.
Okay, so everybody's aware, so we know what's needed. How many employees do we have in the county?
About 98.
About 98, that's roughly it.
Yeah, it varies.
And
but yeah.
would this include volunteer board members?
Volunteer board members would not have to go. Because they don't have supervisory responsibilities, but they're certainly welcome to, not disclosed, but for mandatory purposes, no. But for the mandatory, be supervisors and managers would be any department heads that have supervisory responsibilities.
For example, the airport board manages the ops.
Yeah, that would not need to come.
No.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a good point, and everybody needs to understand when you volunteer for the county and you are insured by the county.
Depending on what it is
That's
you do, yes. I would recognize that for elected officials that don't know to what extent the county or you can mandate that elected officials go, but it would be my strong recommendation because the elected officials supervise.
Well, what we do is we provide the infrastructure for all the elected officials, and that includes this kind of
Right,
thing.
so I would strongly encourage that they do come.
Right.
And I would too.
Yeah. And the other point too is you asked all of them to show up on one day. So who's going to be the traffic cop and how do you sort it?
For the employees, there's 2 dates and times. So if they can't go to one, they go to the other. And hope by getting it 2 months in advance, they can schedule around those. And same thing for managers.
Yeah, that's not
Okay.
apparent here. You just state the course.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be conducted up here.
Yes, in this building.
Okay.
Now, I would expect if there's something critical going on in the department and they can't get away, I'm not saying that, the county has to go into chaos because of it, but.
Well, no, there ought to be.
Use best judgment. Yeah. And so for the employees, there's 2 different times, and I think even on different dates. Like on the 22nd and the 20, there's 2, and then there's another section for road and bridge because they start early.
Yeah.
On the
This
23rd.
fourth, are these people from CTSI
Yeah.
coming here in
Yeah,
person?
they'll be here, correct.
So I wanted to hammer that because that's a big deal. It's better, a lot of these courses are online and you do it on yourself, and this is
No,
a very good
yeah,
course and it's the
open
right
session.
thing to do.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of these in a
There will
while.
be more classes on different topics going forward. So you'll begin to see this more of a standard practice. But on the ones that is mandated by the state, you'll see those at least annually.
And then we need to look at what we think is more important too, at the county level.
Good.
Okay, any other questions for Bob?
No, we need to do this.
Motion?
Make a motion that that we approve the Human Resource Department, mandatory employee supervisor and manager in service training. And those dates are assigned. I recommend that we approve.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the mandatory employee supervisor and management in service training program as presented.
Question.
I get it.
Okay.
All right, so any questions out here? Go ahead, Jim.
Mandatory training for all supervisors, I assume that includes the commissioner.
Yeah, why not?
Well, your supervisors, right?
Well, I can't say. I can only say for myself.
I'm confused.
So I would like to command that all 3 commissioners attend, but I can't make that statement.
And
Right.
so we.
I don't
but
have, I'm not over these 2, so I would love it if the commissioners would show up for that, but I can't make
Yeah,
them do
so
that.
that's what I mean, I'm confused.
There's no reason.
It says mandatory training for all supervisors, so my assumption would be any supervisor has to attend.
I will be there
Yeah.
if I can make it.
Same.
Yeah.
The issue is we can't mandate elected officials to do something like that.
Recommend it, and that's,
We can strongly encourage it, and I think it's an extraordinary idea that all elected officials in the county attend the supervisors, but we can't mandate that they do that.
Right. I'm hoping by giving at least we're 2 months out, 2 months plus.
Plenty of time to adjust.
They're
schedule.
a that's fine.
And sometimes things come up and that's just the way it is, even for employees. All right, any other questions? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for that vote. All in favor, the program is presented by Bob. Say aye, Paul.
Aye.
Lucas.
Aye.
Kanda, aye. All right, next up.
Sure.
Okay, consideration of waiving the landfill fees for the veteran dumpsters. And that what we got up?
Brian's online, correct?
I heard that he
Okay.
was initially.
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you want to talk to the mandatory fees here? Or the
The wavering.
waiving of those fees?
Yeah, I talked to the VSO, can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Dominic.
Dominic. Yeah, Dominic. Yeah, and he brought this well, he asked me, and apparently there's a veteran that needs his home cleaned up, and so I have no problem with us waiving the fees for whether it's a roll off or whatever it is. So I mean, I don't have any issues with it at all.
Okay,
So along with that, the trash company has waived their fees. If we'll waive our fees, otherwise they got to charge us at least what we're gonna charge
Dumpster
for the
fee or
landfill
whatever.
fees. But the dumpster and their fees, they're waiving.
what trash haulers that?
I don't remember.
Borrow.
No, it's oak disposal.
Oak, okay,
So-
good, good, all right, that's good. Good to know, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
So when it says veteran dumpster, what are we talking about?
So it's a veteran zone that needs to be cleaned up.
Oh, the veterans home, okay.
Right.
Great,
That can be done
veterans.
by
It's a project of veterans.
volunteers to do that.
Okay, anything online there? Let's call for that vote then.
There's not even a-
Well, it's not a vote, it's just considered.
Motion. Need a motion. I'll make the motion that we accept the waiver for the landfill fees for the veteran disposal or roll up.
I'll second that. Now it's been moved and seconded not to waive that fee as we presented. All in favor, say aye. Lucas,
Aye.
All this on that.
can I?
Thank you, Brian.
Okay, coming up here, the next item we've got is resolution 2627. And that is a resolution for authorizing the sale of a Kawasaki Mule for 4010 utility vehicle. This item was a asset ID numbers 24 to the amount of $534.99. The funds from this sale will be deposited in the sheriff's office military surplus DRMO fund. And the sheriff's office is authorized to execute any documents on transferring the sale of the mule from the program as may be appropriate. That's the resolution for that sale, 2627. Got a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve or adopt resolution 2627, sale of Kawasaki utility vehicle.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt 2627 as presented. Any questions here?
This was a scrap vehicle, so this is probably commensurate of the price that was given, so. It was just a parts vehicle, so. We didn't pay for it. It came through the DRMO program. All we spent is the time and effort to get it, so.
And $500 is still $500. Should.
Cheaper some of the parts.
Okay, any other comments here? I'll call for that vote. All in favor of adopting resolution 2627, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Kanda, aye. Okay, resolution 2628 is the sale of the portable traffic trailers This also is a resolution authorizing that sale of these traffic sign trailers. The sale of these trailers, the asset number is 25 and the amount of the proposed for them is $335. And that is for both, let's see, what's the
No,
two separate ones, $335, and then there's one for $250, the two of them, two traffic signs. So the total of that is $585 for the pair. So I need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion that we accept Custer County Resolution 26-28 on the two traffic trailers as they were proposed for the amounts on 335 and 250.
Okay, I'll second that. Okay. Any, been moved and seconded, any more discussion on that? Anybody out there? Yeah, Ann?
Fine trailer, are those ones with the messages on them?
No, they're not our new ones. They're not the ones we bought with ARPA money.
No,
Right.
these are,
Or actually it was previous to ARPA money, so.
Okay, thank you.
they're listed on an online government auction site. Got them.
Did we ever use them?
No,
So this is another sale of something free from the government.
That's right.
Correct.
MRO, they put them up and they offer it to the sheriff's departments all over the state. And it looked like it was possibly something we could use. And if it's not, we're authorized to sell it after we hold it for a certain amount of time. Okay, any other comments? I'll call for that vote. Hearing no other comments, and I want to move that we approve. All in favor, say aye for the adoption of resolution 2628. Yeah, aye, Lucas.
aye.
Paul.
Votes on it.
And I. Okay, our next favorite option here is the weed management services, and I'll leave that to you.
This is the further information I spoke about earlier in comments. And Custer County Resolution number 26-29 refers to a resolution authorizing entry into an agreement for weed management services, which is spraying and identifying. Whereas Custer County is required to assist the management of noxious weeds throughout our county. And whereas Custer County has received a proposal from Ark Valley Weed Management and Consulting LLC to perform weed management in the county on a contractual basis. And whereas it has been determined by the Board of County Commissioners that each proposal is in the best interest of the citizens of Custer County in the performance of the county's weed management obligation. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners desire to enter into the agreement with Ark Valley Weed Management and Consulting LLC to perform weed management within the county. Now therefore let it be resolved that the Board of County Commissioners for Custer County, Colorado, that number one, the entry into the agreement with Ark Valley Weed Management and Consulting LLC for the purpose of weed management in Custer County for the year 2026 is hereby authorized and excuse me, and substantially the form is attached hereon. The chair of the Board of County Commissioners is authorized to enter into the aforementioned agreement as described hereon and will, as any other document, be effective same on the behalf of Custer County. Approve this date, May 20, May. I got a date of it. Custer County for the year 2026 is hereby authorized.
I'll move that we adopt resolution 2629.
I'll second.
Okay, any other discussion here? Anybody out there? Anybody online?
Does this service go on an RFP?
On a what?
RFP? What did you get bids on?
RFP, request.
We reached out to several different, applicators, and this was the only one that even
Wanted to do it.
wanted to interview, talk about it, whatever.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And to add to that, the one that we've had for many years has retired. And so the need was there, and this person is very well, he's assisted up here before, he knows our terrain, he knows the high elevation operation of weed control. I've attended that conference and met him personally and talked to him. And I also followed up with a weed board meeting that he was part of and has done a tour and everything else. So everything has gone forth. We're just waiting now to apply it to actually put into his actual schedule to come up and do them at the appropriate time.
So we used Brittany Pierce from Fremont County the last 2 years. She's their weed manager. She was booked, so she can do it.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of adopting resolution 2629. I'll say aye, Paul.
Aye.
Lucas.
Aye.
And aye.
Also, along with that weed management services, there is, so that's basically gonna be paid for by a grant that we got. And then there's $30,000 in the budget to do cost share in the county, so, is that reversed?
Yeah.
Is it? Cost share is paid by the grant, sorry, yeah, cost share is paid by the grant, and we're paying for it. It has been the other way around, but in times past, but, okay, yep, thank you.
Good thing we have grants, we wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
Okay, that's into that one, and then the last one is resolution 2630, the sale of the Impala. Want to make a motion? Comment?
So, number 2, execute any documents other than the bill of sale. Only the bill of sale can only be signed by the chairman of the board of county commissioners. So, that needs to be added into this resolution before this one gets signed.
So that would be part of 2.
That'll be part of 3.
Or new,
Or
or
maybe it
be
needs
a
to be
3
Yeah,
to be signed by the board of chairman of the board.
the title needs to be signed by the,
So just the phrase title shall be executed by the chair or chair commissioners at the end of that sentence. Paragraph 3.
So we can approve that pending that, and you can make the change, Caitlin, and give it to Kellen. And I'll sign it when we, if we pass it, I'll sign it when we do the checks.
Okay.
so this is the sale of a 2000 Chevy Impala sedan that the sheriff's department has been currently using.
You the board signs the holder.
Trying to change.
Gotcha.
She's multitasking.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Oh, so that's a different version up there.
Yeah, I just, so
Oh, is that?
the old version that was in the SharePoint had it as a DRMO asset.
Right.
Or was not, so
Correct.
the version that they have, and that's up there, is that verbiage. taken
That's one of our
It's
vehicles.
down with it.
Don't mention calls.
So this is not a DRMO vehicle. This was a vehicle that was donated to the sheriff's department. Now they're gonna sell it.
For $3,000, a little bit more than the other stuff we just sold
And this will go back into capital improvement
for us.
correct? You go towards capital improvement fund.
Okay, I'll move we adopt resolution 2630.
Alex, second.
Okay, it's moving and second. Any other discussion? Any discussion out here? Okay. I'll call for that vote. All in favor of selling the Impala, say aye. Lucas.
Aye.
Vote on aye.
Kanda, aye. Okay, what time is it?
What time?
10. Okay, let's take a quick break. I need some water. And everybody probably needs a break anyway, so let's take a quick one. Okay, we're back in session. The time now is 10:08. And we'll call this meeting back to order. And we've got 2 more items to finish up, and then we'll get into the Justice Center discussion. So the first one is OEM, interim OEM director. We need to consider that. We had a workshop and we looked at how we want to handle this transition from our current OEM, who is retiring effective 21st of May. And she turned her resignation in a couple of weeks ago, and we've been working on it since. We're updating the OEM work, the statement of duties have been updated, incorporating a lot of that, comments from all activities, including the search and rescue, fire department, ambulance corps, et cetera. And with all that added to it, we're updating that. And in the meantime, we want to get a notice out for somebody to apply. And in the meantime, we know that application process is probably going to take 6 weeks or so, at least, to get it done right and get it on the street, and then get people applying. And we will keep it open until we get. In the meantime, we need an interim, and so that's here today. We want to approve hiring an interim, stepping into the reins at the current level, and being paid to be the interim to manage that as soon as we can. We'll make a comment on that.
Yeah, but I will make a motion that we post for the Office of Emergency Management Interim Director posting at the current pay rate that we are now.
And timeline.
Until filled by the full-time position.
Okay, so the process for that will be the same like we would do with the full-time. We're going to look at qualifications and try to pick one that can meet the male, not entirely, be a possibility to learn on the job, work with the people. We'll have a meeting and with all the agencies affected, sheriff's office, fire department, et cetera, and work out process to work with an interim person. And that will be the first thing we do. So, and you move that we do that.
I'll second.
And second it here. Okay, and we would post it today, right? Is it going to be able to be through the sheriff's office, probably?
No, it's done through our office.
Or I mean ours. I'm sorry, I was thinking. I was on the car issue.
Oh. Are you open for discussion?
Yeah, it's been moved and seconded. So any other discussion out here? Anywhere?
Yeah, what is the current salary of that position and who do they report to?
They will report to the commissioners, and I believe the range, I believe it's somewhere between 65 and 70,000.
Yeah. And right now they would step in at that current rate. That doesn't mean that the new person, that, by the way, that person could also apply for the job. And it might mean a pay cut if that person applied one, and then that person would have to step in at a whatever the beginning rate is that we've established. And the process that we're gonna work with.
Being an old recruiter, so if you know anybody that is interested or anything, please let them know that we're looking. And get the word out a little more by verbal communication than all of our postings.
Peggy Collins, River Online Phone.
Hey, Peggy, go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm just curious about why we don't just post for the OEM. Why do we post for an interim?
Hey, good question. We had that same comment in our workshop, and we're not gonna wait and do it in series.
So my thinking is that I want to take due time to get the right person in as full-time OEM. So if we were going into January, February, we could maybe do without an interim for a while, or without a director for a while, but going into fire season or going into this dry time, I think we need to get somebody in there. I'm open by June 4th, no later than June 4th, have an interim, and that gives us the time to really vet the right person to be our OEM full-time.
And meanwhile, I'll be the point of contact until we get that OEM in, because they work, I'm the managing commissioner for that. And we will be working, I'll have a meeting with the affected agencies as soon as possible to work process until we get a full-time.
Full-time, we will post that. We're gonna talk about that position next week in our meeting. We want to hammer through the last of a few little details in the job description. And before we post that, so we wanted a week to decide on that, but getting the interim out there was an immediate need for us.
Cindy Power has.
Cindy Howard, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, I just wanted to be an advocate for the Community Wildfire Protection Plan and the roles and responsibilities for the new OEM there. You know, that CDBDG grant is still coming up potentially anytime. And I just want to let you know that, you know, I've mentioned it to a couple people, but I am, through my day job at Fire Depot, Colorado, my boss is going to let me do a little bit of support where I can. That would include like meeting June 1st with the Fremont Custer Fire Pros group, working with John Van Doren, keeping those Esri maps live. Anything I can do to just kind of help you with that where I can. You know, I just really want to be an advocate for that and let you know that you can count on me.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, and along with that, that reminds me, the ambassador program, the chipping of the current process that we have to go get the chipper out to people to use, help fire mitigate. Currently, there's a program we have, and we're going to continue doing that. Right now, it's handled through the Road and Bridge office to assign to get the chipper out and get people on the truck checked out. So we'll keep that going. And the gal's name is Carol, and I can't remember her last name. That's the head of that program. And we're going to continue that, just let everybody's mind at ease. Okay, any other points? Okay, hearing none, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of posting for the interim OEM, say aye. Lucas?
Aye.
Kanda, aye. All right. Next one up is the consideration of the resignation of Deb Adams as the member ex officio of the Tourism Board.
Okay, so our letter is, it is in my best interest to submit my letter of resignation from the Custer County Tourism Board. Please approve it. Tomorrow's BOCC meeting. Has been a pleasure to serve the county. Thank you for your consideration to take care of this matter. Thank you, Deb, as well. You've been, I think, on the board since 2019 to yesterday, or I guess today. So thank you, Deb Adams, for everything that you've done for Custer County tourism, all the hard work that you put in, and for chairing that for as long as you did. So thank you, and wish you the best in everything that you are going to continue to do.
Here, here. Here, here.
So I'll make a motion to approve and accept the resignation of Debbie Adams from Tourism Board.
I'll second that. Is Deb on? Did we? Okay. Okay. Oh, I want that. Any comments here anymore? Okay, I'll call for that vote. All in favor of accepting the letter of resignation from Deb Adams, say aye. Paul?
Aye.
Lucas?
Aye.
Kanda, aye.
Thank you, Deb.
All right. Okay, next up, we've got the discussion. This is a discussion on the Justice Center. I'm going to stand up because I'm tired and I want to look at everybody. My back is. You're a big target. So let me set the stage real quick. I know most of you are here for that are staying with us right now. There's a lot of rumors going around. There's a lot of false information going around. To include, people think we've been pushing on this for years, and we brought it to the voters more than once. It's only gone to the voters one time, just once, to be considered. And the reason and why did we do that? What is the purpose of this? We just didn't wake up one day and say, we need a new courthouse. Let's get something shiny. What is required by law is that every county have a courthouse. That's the law. And then also along with that law, Because not every county is as rich as El Paso County or Denver County. They can support it with just their mill levies. Most of them can, and those that don't have sales tax that really carried, got lots of money. And $32 million isn't much to them, but to us it is. We don't have enough money to do the roads that we have that we want to do better on. We don't have enough money to pave the highways anywhere. We don't have enough money for sheriff's vests, or bullets with our mill levy that we currently have with the taxpayers on their property. What we do have is sales tax, as every county does. There's three kinds of sales tax. There's the county tax, there's the state tax, and there's the municipal tax. Those are three sales taxes. Our county sales tax today is only 2%. It's been 2% for 3 decades. Never raised it. And that's a shame, really, when we need to pay for other things and have other people pay for it instead of just our citizens. If everybody that comes in here gets to pay more than, the part of the sales tax. That's a one way of handling it. The other way is you get people to donate and all those other things. The other way you do it is the state mandates you do it so they know we're poor. So they provide grants. Some grants help build it. Some grants only help you get it on the ballot because it's required. Also, we didn't look at our building and say we need a new courthouse. Who does? It's a different branch of the state government that looks at it. It's a judicial branch. I was happy with what we had. I don't want to pay any more money than anybody else does. Do you, Lucas? No. Do you, Paul? We want to do the right thing for our citizens, and that's to protect them and to provide for the communications and their ability to make a living. So therefore, where do we get the money? We have to depend on grants, and we have to depend on taxes, sales tax, bonds, whatever. And we don't have a choice in some cases. We're required to do it. If you look at the courthouse today, it's unsafe. It's a hazard to have the judge, the jury, and everybody there at the same time. Do you ever wonder why the front door? Why can't we go in and out the front door? It's because of the security requirements. When that thing was first built, you could walk in that front door. Where's the jury room? Do you know where the jury room is? The jury room's our lunchroom, and the break room. They close the door on one end and open the door to the jury, and people walk in during that time. The discussion for the plaintiff and the defendant to have a discussion with their people. Where do they do that? Where do they do it, Dan?
Find an empty office somewhere off to the side.
Yeah,
usually
somebody's office. And in the meantime, you got a defendant that's in chains, potentially, walking in and shuffling up the hallway. Where does he come from? He comes from the jail holding area from Fremont County first, because we couldn't afford to keep the jail doing what we're doing. And luckily we have a lease with them. So he comes up from Fremont County, shuffles into the sheriff's office up there. And then when they come in time for the trial, whether it's winter or spring or whatever, he's in chains, shuffles 450 feet from the sheriff's office to the front door of the building, the back door where the clerk's office is, shuffles down the hallway with people coming and going, normal business, and then turns left to go through a metal detector in the hallway where the plaintiff and the defendant are looking at each other. If somebody wanted to, they could create quite a scene, as they do in sometimes. So, and then behind that, there's a propane tank, which we can move easy, right? A propane tank right behind the judge's office. One shot can blow it up. Somebody can mess it up. We can move it. That's all well and good, but then you still have the issue. You need to build something to modernize it enough to get it to meet state standards. And they don't care how we do it. And we went through the trades back in how many people were here in 1917 or 2017? Well, I was here in 2017. In 2017, they came to us. I didn't go to them. That was my first year as a commissioner. None of the commissioners went to them and said, boy, we want some money to upgrade this thing. We thought we had to, we were just there. We're just living with what we had. During that time from then to now, they closed the front door on that thing. They can't use that front door because of the requirements that have happened. Other things have happened. We got an upgrade for the heating system in there because we needed that. That was a grant. But you can't use it in the wintertime because it blanks out all the communications online that we use now because of COVID. Got us on these computers that we have now, the owls and everything. And that heater, you have to turn the heat off in the wintertime in there. So that was an upgrade. But so they came to us in 2017 because that's the separate branch that uses that facility. And they got looking at it and said, you guys are on our list. You have to fix it. You have to. That's the law. And so we said, all right, how do we do it? And so they pointed out there's several grants, and we had 3 or 4 of them during that year. 3 to basically find the requirements, define them, figure out the costs, and then take it to the voters. Because we don't have, if we were El Paso County, we could say, all right, Lucas, let's take it out of capital improvement, and we'd build it, and then everybody'd be happy with a new facility that's safe. We can't. So we said, how do we do it? Well, we had to we looked at a lot of ways. Do we sell bonds? Do we split a sales tax? How do we do it? You know, and we put a team together to do that. We had a committee of about people in the county, different walks of life, farmers, ranchers, bankers, lawyers, people that volunteered to help us do that, as well as people on the judicial system. The judge participated at the time, Judge Winter at the time, and several others. The state, the court executive, at least the row, she's still on there, and she still knows our predicament and has been all along. So we started that in 2017, spent the money to put it there and put it on the ballot. We couldn't get it on the ballot though right away. And the reason was we were ready to go forward, COVID hit. So through 2019, 2020, and 21, we were wearing masks and hiding with everybody else. In 2021, we finally put it together and we came up with the ballot initiative, and the only one that we've ever put before the public, ever. And I didn't ask anybody to start it anytime sooner than that. That was the time to do it. We came out. In that time, it says, I'm going to pass this around. And by the way, don't look at the picture. That was an artist. That is not what it would look like. It would look like our old courthouse or something similar. We never got that far. But it was ballot issue 1A, Custer County Justice Center, and it was a center. Now, how come it's called a Justice Center? We don't have a Justice Center on the ballot now. We're going for a courthouse, a courtroom. That's all we're putting it on. That's all we're going to build. And the reason it turned into a Justice Center. What's a center? Well, if you look at Fremont County, they got a center. They got a jail. They got judges. They got lawyers, rooms, etc. A center. Well, our sheriff at the time, Shannon Byerly, saw it as an opportunity, betting on the come that we're going to get more need for bigger cells, a better place. Didn't need it. This one would have been okay for the time being, but we're looking at the 25-year lifetime. What do we have in 25 years? Things have changed. The state started demanding even more diversity in those cells for people that thought they were somebody else, and they wanted cells for them. And they said that complicated it. We couldn't do that then, and actually we did accommodate something in this center for this, just for the jail. And we came up with a concept that put the jail with it and the the courtrooms. And went to see what's the big picture. The big picture had 2 courtrooms and a nice jail with 32 cells, I think, something like that. Well, that was nice, but it was too expensive when we costed it out, so we pruned it down. And it came up with 1 courtroom on it and made it modular, so you could add another courtroom if you had to, and made it modular to put a sally port on it and do other things. And knowing that this other jail we could decommission and use it for something else. So it was a modular design. And we ended that with this. It said, the longer we wait, the greater the cost. That statement was the fact that in some counties, when they couldn't afford it, or they said, we're not going to do it, they got forced into doing it because they had to. And there was a couple of them, Orfano County is a good example. They did it and they went broke doing it and bankrupt, actually, I think. And you've got some data on that. And the Castile Academy, I think, was the other one. And they had to do it. They didn't have another choice. So the longer we wait, we an opportunity time. We can get by right now. We're been eking by it, but barely. So the longer we wait, the greater the cost. At the first needs-based assessment was completed 5 years ago before this came out. 5 years. So it went through COVID, and then we put it on the initiative in 2021. It went out. So 5 years since then, the construction costs have risen 16.8% just in those 5 years. I hate to see what has happened now. And the interest rates dropped to a record low. So the bottom line was that that even waiting, you know, it still cost money. But by the time we pruned it down, I think with the Justice Center, it was around 20 million bucks. That was with the jail. Today, and the reason we're going through an assessment today is because they came back to us. Let's go with this. Now is the fiscal time to build a new justice center that is safe, secure, and ADA compliant. That's another issue too. Our building, just to make it compliant, we'd have to put an elevator in that costs 20, 30,000 bucks or more. I think the cost of those are huge. I think it's even more than that. Anyway, so since then, we dropped it. It went to the voters. The voters said no. And everybody's good at quoting it. Well, it was 3-1. They don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want to pay the money. But the problem was they didn't pay attention. You know, a lot of voters, and I'm guilty of that. I don't think about it until I get the blue book. Now I wonder who the heck is Joe Blow running for assistant attorney. In this case, this was put out there. It said, visit the Justice Center table at the Custer County School multipurpose room. We held a whole bunch of places where we took tours. The judge participated, giving the tours. Each commissioner did, to explain why we need it. And that didn't mean that convince anybody to do it. If they didn't want to do it, that's fine. But people had to know what they were voting on, not just what they heard. What I've seen in the Facebook stuff, I don't really have Facebook, but Joanne keeps me apprised of a lot of stuff. The rumors going around that we brought it up. Kanda wants this. I don't want it any more than you do. I know that we need it. And we would be bad stewards of the citizens' money, the three of us, if we ignored it. What if we ignored it? We don't want to do it either. You're right, everybody that doesn't want to do it. We don't even want to bring it up. Well, if we didn't do that, then our kid or your grandkids or somebody maybe in the 5-year time frame is going to get stuck with a bigger bill than we have now. And so that's the whole purpose of bringing it up. Now, I didn't bring it up this year either until we got the word, because that Lisa Rowe, the court executive for the state of Colorado, called and said, look, you can still apply for a grant now. You need to get something done, and we have this grant available for you to go ahead and redefine the requirements and see what we can do. And it was only 25,000 bucks. That's all we got. And so for $25,000 that we were eligible for, and we won, we are able to take the design that we started with, narrowed it down. It's a modular design today, revalidated the requirements, and we had a workshop, some of you attended, I think, a few weeks ago, months ago, or whatever it was. And we went through what was really required. One courtroom, jury room, chamber for the judge, all protected. Sally port to bring them in and not from the judge or down through a bunch of people that are sitting there in the aisle. And that was all we did. And with offices for the judicial group. We have that today. Their office is 2 offices, and we share the lunchroom still, with the courts. And as you know, the courts are handled differently. They'll be open on days that we're not, and it'll be different requirements that are different than the county. But we're accountable to give them the ability to perform their job. So with that 25,000 bucks, the same architect that helped define the requirements It's Riley Johnson Architects, is the company. Took the requirements and took the design that we had and changed them to make it so that it would be more compatible with, what is reasonable this day and age to get for our county. Things have changed a little bit. We don't need the jail for sure right now. And I don't think we would, I'm really glad that's the case. That is also a requirement. You have to have a jail or an ability to get somebody to a jail, which we have now. Now that could come to a halt too, because Fremont County's got a lot of crooks down there bigger than we are, and there's more of them coming in, and we're lucky we have the space. And what did they tell us the other day? There's a time frame, maybe a couple of years or 10, when was it? When we visited last, they got a whole floor open right now because they just refurbed it. And so we're lucky to have that, but it could go away. It will go away at some point. And we're going to be strapped with the same thing. But luckily, the design that we've got now is modular still. And all we have to do is knock the wall out on the courtroom side and couple another courtroom in there if we wanted to. On the other side, we can couple that the hallway there with offices to a jail if we wanted to bring a jail back. So that design still is complete. It's still there, and it's a viable thing to take in the future. That's why we took the time to make sure we're not just going to build some crazy building and have it be worthless in 20 years and not be able to be used for anything. And then we would take our current courthouse and open it up for human services, for example, or for the clerk's office. Find another room, use the old sheriff's office for something else. We are very cognizant of the minimal resources that this county has. We live within our budget, and we will make do, and we have been. Matter of fact, even the SAR building, the heater in there is lousy, and everybody freezes when they're in there doing it. But we make do with everything that we got. So I want to stop. I have a stop put to all this rumor stuff. If you don't want it, I'm all for it. Vote it down. Or don't let us make that. Wouldn't that be a shame if we were like El Paso County and we decide not to do a courtroom, or if we decided to do it? You don't have any say. Here, it's giving you the opportunity to go out there and campaign against it. You don't want it so bad, and you've got good proof, and you can convince your fellow citizens that I don't care if your grandson has to pay the bill later, or your mom today, your kid is coming up, let them handle it. That would be mismanagement of your civic duty as a citizen. Our boss, you're our boss, and we have the authority you have given us to make those decisions for you. And by the way, that authority, we went further. And you go to Pueblo County and see if you can get a commissioner to recognize you to say anything in that room. They won't do it. Don't have to. But we not paid either. I mean, once you make a point, we hear it. But you know what? You guys that are coming, I'm proud of you here being here. There's 3,500 more voters out there than you guys. You can't make the decision for the other 3,000 people. That's why you hired us. Now we were representing it. And if we get diligent like we are, we put it before all 3,000 of you, not 10 people that come to a meeting that have a gripe because they heard a rumor. So that's the whole point. I'm really glad that at first I saw this as what the heck's that on there for? We had a meeting already. It's something we have to do. We thought everybody was happy with it. And by the way, not very many came to that workshop, did they? We had, you were there, I think. We had maybe 10 people. And that, if they really thought enough of it, why didn't they flood the room if they really cared? I know there's people online. How many we got online? Probably 10 still. 11. And in there, half the county is. So we want to do the right thing. And the right thing is to have you guys vote on it. To come to the meeting or come take a look. We're going to put we have to go out there and we're going to show people. We're going to do the same thing. Well, the 25K gets to the point where we have to now take us. I'll volunteer. I'll go and give briefings to people. We'll make a round. We'll do it like we did last time. Get people that care to say, and people that come and pick at it too. See what is wrong with it or right with it. Be able to be an informed voter. And that means vote yes or no, not just yes. Not out there to sell it. Matter of fact, the grant they give us, they won't pay for us to to go out and sell it. That's illegal. They're paying for us to give it to the people so they can vote on it. And we're not, and that's why you won't hear us saying that with this money, all we're gonna see with this money is the design that meets the requirements and keeps it safe and good for the future. And be something you'd be proud of. The design, just concept, is gonna look a lot like this current courtroom today. That's history, and that we're proud of that too. That's a historical building. And we're gonna keep it going as long as we can afford. What are we doing now? We've got air conditioning. We want to put it upstairs because JD and the extension office would have to wear sweatsuits to come out of there. It gets so hot in the summertime. Might be worse this year. And then we'll get by with the current courtroom. It's not going to be built overnight, that's for sure. I mean, if it's approved this November, we wouldn't start on construction. I think they projected, if you remember, Ann, they were looking maybe 18 months before they break ground on anything.
That'll be 28.
Yeah. So we've got to get by with what we've got and hope that nobody decides to knife somebody going down the sidewalk. I mean, that happens. It doesn't sound, but look at the TV. You see it every day. Somebody just whacks somebody. And you know what? They're looking at smaller counties to make a bigger splash. The people that you don't even recognize because it makes the news. The big, somebody doing that in Denver, nobody shrugs their shoulders. Everybody gets sniped in a big city. You don't even think about it. So anyway, that's my point today, and we're here to help you all make a better decision, either yes or no. When we get that final project, the schedule, we're on schedule that we gave them to get this in time for Kelly to put it on the ballot. And you said it would be August 6th or something. Second week of August. So before then, this design is going to be done here in another few weeks. Then we'll have to get together, and then we're going to figure out how to get it to the public so they can see it, and still make some changes too, for that matter, on the design a little bit. If we can tweak it here and there. They don't like the old courtroom look. They want a prison cell look like some of these courthouses have, or change some minor things like that. We can still do that before it goes on. But the point, the real initiative is how do we pay for it? And right now, the best thing that I see is the sales tax angle, because it takes people out of Pima Vista. It takes people from Boulder that comes down here. It takes a lot of people. We get there's tourism knows how many people does this county? I think it's like tenfold or whatever it is. A lot of people buying and selling stuff. Anyway, that's it. And it was a 10-year note, and it was expire, and there's no. That was the term. That's what we had before. There's no strings attached. We wouldn't keep attached. The school bond is another issue that has. When we approved that new school, which was a flop on the, can't remember the groundwater, it's going to be heated by hot ground. Well, there's no hot ground under us, and it would die in 50 years or 25, whatever it was. That didn't expire. They had that little word in there that says it can be used for hiring teachers or other things in that thing, so it doesn't go away. We'll have a sunset. This will go if we do it.
Right. Just a question of clarification. Earlier in your talk, you mentioned front doors don't work. What's wrong with front doors?
You can't use them by law because it's not. You can't open.
It's immediate access to the court.
You cannot by law because the security
and they're glass.
Can't use them.
That's illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal. No, they're great doors.
Okay.
Matter of fact, if we go back 20 years, I'd love that. It was a great. By the way, that was a gift to this county too. This courtroom came from Pueblo County. It was a gift. We didn't buy it. And also what else was it? A gift. And it's been updated with other things in the meantime. But back in those days, it was, you didn't have the problem we have now.
So the legal aspect came after the doors were made, then obviously, because that is something.
Well, that was put in like 1960.
So that was straight into the courtroom, and that was acceptable then.
Oh yeah,
not acceptable.
Can't do it now. And we never. I don't know why they got. Did you know where the original courtroom was? Is the treasurer's office. That courtroom that was on the left in the corner was the judge and jury and all that was right in that little room where Virginia is. So it's always been a justice center because they built that around the old Rock House, the jail that you see. That's why we call it the Rock House. Those are the cells that they're in. So we had a justice center all along. We had the jail, but we ended up putting people in the jail that had offices, and that's us getting by again. You go put yourself in that office that we had there. There's no windows. It's a steel box with a door handle on it. You know, that's not the way to. So I'm looking forward to us being able to use other rooms if we do get another building at some point, do other things with, make this a museum. That part of it, anyway. Yep.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions if it's okay.
Sure.
First question is, you talk about this committee and whatnot that's been working on the design, et cetera. How is the committee formed? Is it a countywide bipartisan committee? And who's on it?
Okay, that we tried to be, honestly, we did, and we put it out, and we took the roster from last time, you know, everybody that was on it before, and that included bipartisan. It was everybody that we could think of at the time, and a lot of them have gone away, and some didn't. And so, but what we did, we wanted to get started with it. There's plenty of time to get somebody else on there, and that's one of the reasons.
The question was who's on it?
I don't have the list with me. I really don't. I could look.
And not discussion, the lecture you were giving us really seems to imply that the grant was awarded to work through a design and the approach or the mechanism to get it on the ballot as if the project is a done deal, that it's going to be done. And I don't remember any resolution or any BOCC action that says we are building a courthouse.
No, we never would have said that because we aren't building it. We're proposing that we do build one, and to put through the vote.
I haven't seen an action
we had
for that either.
We had a meeting. I don't know when it was. It wasn't a BOCC meeting. And you're right.
So why are we discussing a proposal to build a courthouse in the BOCC?
You know, I'll have to actually look around when we got started, Jim. I don't know. Point is, all that was a resurrection of what we had, and that's where we started. That's why we did it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't heard any other discussion about potential solutions for the issues that the judicial district has with respect to alternatives to a new construction. I have not heard any discussion about that.
What we did have is a briefing that we put together at the end of that, and that final report, and that's what we have. That it went through the whole thing. It's available. You can have a copy.
Okay, and then the last thing would be, I assume, well, you're saying we, but you don't.
When I say we, I'm talking about we here.
You, the three commissioners?
Yeah.
So we means you guys are all in concert with Bill in this discussion.
That's true. And I've seen people say, well, there's a weak shoulder support from the other two or something like that. I saw that.
Well,
I'd like to know who said
any
that.
resolution or any action by the BOCC that says construction of a new facility is what we're going to do, and this is how we're gonna pay for it, which we're gonna.
That's right. We haven't got to that point yet. That's part of the process that we're going to be at, period.
I would think the voters would want to approve paying for something that they knew was gonna happen versus something they are going to.
Paying what?
It says, you said that we're not to that point, but you're trying to put payment on the ballot already.
No, well, that's what it will be. That's how you get it to the voters, Jim. You get it on a ballot. It's not us deciding, well, by some edict that the county has that we're gonna.
So the ballot measure is gonna say, should we build a courthouse or not?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's it, Jim. Yes or no? Do you want to buy a courtroom like this that meets the requirements?
Instead build.
Or build it. Well, you're paying for it. You got to buy it.
No, you can approve that you want to build for it, and then you have to vote on how you're gonna do it if you're gonna go down that road. My point being is, I think the commissioners as a board have to act before any of this stuff gets started.
And they did that back in 2017, and then they went through all the processes that they did all the trades with that were valid then and are still valid, and that's what we picked it up at. It's that simple.
You're talking about the initiative that was voted down.
Right.
At some point, there will be a resolution.
Right.
Presumably.
Yeah.
In front of the Board of County Commissioners.
Let's put it on the ballot.
To place something on the ballot.
Right.
And that would be a request for the voters to approve or disapprove funding mechanism for construction of a new.
Right.
And then
If the voters don't approve that, then the board really doesn't have the ability to do anything else.
that's it.
If they do, then.
Then what the next step is, Jim, is the architecture itself. All we have is the requirements and then what to me, then that would go before another.
I've heard your discussion, if you will.
The discussion is now, I just wanted to make the facts, the discussion is now.
Right, my point being, in my mind, from my visibility, I'm seeing a committee and you as the drivers for a new courthouse. And I don't know who's on the committee, and I don't know who was selected by it. I have heard diddly squad from the other two commissioners about, yes, we need to do this. And so how am I supposed to conclude anything else than we're heading unilaterally to a meeting of the commissioners that is gonna approve or
Disapprove.
So, I mean, you've done things unilaterally before, which I have disagreed with.
I'll disagree with you there. But
What are
that's,
you talking about?
I'm not here to debate. We're not debating that.
Well, yeah, you're
Because
okay.
you made a good point.
Lecturing us. Because we're not debating, you're telling us exactly all this stuff.
In order to get it to the people, that's all it is. That's what we do normally. On any issue, we consider it and we have we present it, we vote on whether we're gonna do that or not before the people. We come to the meeting and do that all the time.
Oh, yeah, that's, all I'm saying is, you've been talking about it as if it's already been voted on.
For what? To do it or not? That's, anyway.
No, to put it on the ballot, let's say.
No, all I said
Because you're
is
saying
what we've done.
Get it on the ballot, but I understand from the lawyer now that you still have to go through.
That's correct.
So let's get to the process.
Okay, that's it.
You guys vote on it.
All right.
I've had two online for.
Okay, I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
The first one is Cindy Howard.
Okay, Cindy.
Yes, so what I'm hearing is you're getting ready to move forward or take a vote, but what I'm not hearing are the details. You know, the devil's in the details. What's the ballot language going to say? Overall, by raising the sales tax from 2% to 3%, you're talking about going from 7.9% to 8.9% if you're in the city limits in either town. So you're shopping in town, you're upping that burden. I'm also not hearing, in terms of the ballot language, if it's a 1% sales tax increase, which is a 50% sales tax increase at the county level, is that sunsetted when this is paid off? Or are you going to keep that 50% increase in perpetuity? Because okay. I don't usually, well, let me finish. I'll get done here and I'll let you answer. But that, you know, that's kind of what I would like to know, if it sunsets out or if government just keeps spending that money in the future. And I wasn't clear if it's a fall ballot issue or because you said something about August. And my last comment is you made a really clear point that this is the law and that another county got forced into following the law. So the Colorado Wildfire Resiliency Code was passed as law by Senate Bill 23-166. You were to adopt that by April 1st as a county. You are supposed to enforce that by July 1st, 2026 as a county. So I'm seeing you pick and choose what we need and which laws we're going to follow. So on that end, I'd like to see at the Planning Commission level a public meeting on that code as well as some more talk on the.
Okay, thanks for your comment. If you'd have been listening, you'd have heard the process says we have to get it ready to discuss and present to the people to the design. That was the process. In order to get it on the ballot, we needed to take that and then make tweaks on it, do whatever it is, and then develop the language that we would vote on, just like Dan had said. And it does, and I mentioned that before, even on the last one we did, it had a sunset clause. It will have a sunset clause, period. It will be done. And also the tax, the amount of tax, I haven't decided anything. Nobody decided anything. I'm just pointing out what happened and what needs to be done forward. And that has to be chosen. Do we want to do sales tax or not? I don't know. If you vote that down, if we decide not to do that, we can call it quits in the middle of this and bail out before that if we wanted to, and not put it on the ballot at that point. We have to vote to put it on the ballot. And I only brought it up with Kelly Neese beforehand, but in order to get it on the ballot, you have to have a deadline. You have to know what you're doing, manage the program up to that point. Right now, that are settling on the requirements that meet the specs. And with the assets that we have today that were voted on in the past, and the trade studies that were done on infinitum on where to do it, where we could do it, what can we fix instead, et cetera. They still remain the same. And then we can discuss that later at that point too. If it looks like some magic technology came up and we don't need to do it, we could opt to do something different. But the bottom line is, following the process that the state has given us to make sure we make our security requirements, we're in the process of having that design put before us so we can make the next steps. We do go forward with it. How do we pay for it and take it to the voters? Lucas and I and Paul aren't going to make that decision. We're going to make the decision based on the input we get on even to put it on the ballot. If we decide not to do it at that point, we could. But then that would be us making sure we had the opinion of more than just 10 people in the county. Yeah. And that's why a big meeting somewhere else that would describe it. And that's what we tried for in the first place. You can verify this. We wanted more people. We wanted all the people in the world to take these tours with us as we were putting the requirements together to see why we're doing it, where the things were unsafe and what the cost could be. So I welcome that. I want between now, how much time we have? This is May. We've got 2 months to really get really busy on making people aware of what's going on. And we can't do that. We took the first shot at it out of the shocks the other day when we had that meeting. Just said, here's where we are. We took the requirements and now we're going forward with what we've got for the 25K to get it designed so we can do something with it. And that'll be the next couple of months. So any other questions? Let's have this. Okay, now who was online? Go ahead, Peggy. Sit down.
Well, this will be the second time in my life agreeing with Jim Gilbert. And it's all.
I've agreed with him a couple times.
It is all so premature. And the reason that you're getting all this flack on Facebook is just that. It's all premature. And I never saw anything about a workshop. I was pretty involved the first time around on this. I mean, I wasn't on the committee, but I certainly went to the meetings and saw the designs. I don't see how you can try to get the citizens on board with what they already turned down. And nobody understands until I just listened to you today, Bill, that it's not going to be a justice center anymore. It's just going to be a modular courtroom. I just think that the whole thing is premature. I think that you need to get something out to the citizens about what it is this time that you might be proposing, because there hasn't been any proposal. And as Mr. Slater said, that still needs to happen by resolution.
That's true. And the good comments, Peggy, right, spot on. I agree 100%. That's what I pointed out in the beginning, and was we have to get it before the people. And we can't do it without spending the money we did to do what we're getting today to bring forward. And that's a good point. And at that point, if we're not ready, if the requirements aren't there and the people don't understand, if we can't get enough people involved, it would be silly to put it on the ballot and have it turned down anyway. So when is the right time? See, when is the right time? Is it 2 years from now and everybody forgets what happened? No, because the courtroom is dangerous and the judicial system's not going to let us forget it. They're going to bring it up every year. And it's going to be something that we have to bite off. And so I think with even this meeting's been great because it gets people, you guys go spread the word. We can, once we get that design where we know we're based on the requirements that we've got now for a single courtroom, all streamlined and a rough order of magnitude on the cost. We can't just look at the square foot. By the way, per square foot, what was the square footage? It's $1,000 a square foot, something like that, or I think it might have been more than that for security.
That was a jail.
That's jail. No, it was for secure courts. That was one he gave us. But we'll get that, the square footage. That's an average. That doesn't mean that that's all it is. But we need that, and then we take a look at it and we decide is the rest of the county are we secure enough the way we have it? We're going to have to spend some money, even getting by with what we got. Because you're sharing a lunch with a jury deliberating. You can't do that. You can't do a lot of things that we have now that cost us capital. You heard us talking just now about how to use our capital funds that minuscule amount we have to do with. We'd have to do something to modify the courtroom. Just putting those air conditioners on, what was that cost, Lucas, just for the 2 air conditioners?
Oh, that has nothing to do.
I know, but the point is, no, it does, because I want to point out even little things like that cost a lot of money.
20.
I have one more point.
A grand piece. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, not for the first time. I also agree with Cindy Howard. You can't pick and choose which laws you're going to follow. Another county already went bankrupt doing what the state said that they had to do. I'm sorry, the state passes these things, mandates that they don't ever think through for a small county like this.
Okay, Peggy, I agree with you there, and Cindy too. I didn't bring it up. With all the counties, there's a law that says you don't have to do unfunded mandates. All these mandates came out without money. And in order for us to do these things, we couldn't even attack one of the mandates that they were putting out there. So but if you grow, that mandate's still there, you have to comply.
Yeah, and I would say it's my understanding that this requirement is constitutional, not a statutory requirement.
That's right.
Pre-existed the statute that says that we can't have unfunded mandates.
That's true.
So it's a mandate that we provide safe court system the same way it's a mandate that we provide law enforcement to the sheriff's.
It's constitutional. So that's a good point. That's why they're not going to get off our back. It's not simple like, well, Custer County really ain't going to do anything. Let's just let them wallow, and if they get killed down there, that's their problem. They won't let us go there.
I think Cindy has a response to.
Well, let's give somebody else a chance here.
There's your response.
Go ahead.
Since you've been kicking this idea around and everything, where is this going to be? Is it going to be behind the courthouse, between the courthouse and the current sheriff's?
No, it's the county owns 6.4 acres that's open right behind.
Back in there?
Yeah, empty lots there by the post office, out Kirkpatrick Bank around the corner. That's all belongs to us.
Right. So that's where.
And that would be where you would put it with the hope in for the future. Now you're planning for the future if it grew, or other buildings can be put there too. We don't have a lot of grounds. If you look at the SAR building and the sheriff's office and this, the reason we're in this, why we're here? Because we don't have any other place to have a meeting.
So it would go over there, not right there behind the courthouse?
No.
Okay.
There's a layout, and that was presented at the last workshop too, and you will definitely pass that, make it available to everybody. And that's something we have to do to make everybody aware of it.
Right. Okay.
Identify yourself.
Yeah. Dean Sharp.
Dean Sharp. Yeah, she's keeping track. Cliff. State your name.
Clifton Loss. Did you buy that land without voter approval?
No, we had a board of commissioners that were involved, and of course we did. And it's not, we can't mortgage anything. The county's not allowed to do that. We have a lease to buy. We end up owning it in 10. We've got 2 payments left. $50,000 each, or whatever it is. Might be more than that. 150K is left on.
And you bought that for what purpose?
Exactly this. The courtrooms extension. It was for the community. It's for the county government use. Jails, so hospitals, whatever.
So you bought the land before the people approved the building of the courthouse?
Yeah, no, it was in conjunction with it. And we can buy land anytime we want to, Cliff, if the county can, for whatever reason, we like a gravel pit. And we vote that we want to do that and we buy it. That's what happened in this case. We not only that, we had a gift as well. We got that land for half price. And so it was a good move to make for the future, even if we didn't put a courtroom on. Look what we've got right now. You got a human services people that are in a very bad place to have private meetings with people that have needs for what that mission is. They need a place for it. Where would you want to put that? In Silver Cliff somewhere? We'd have to buy the land for that. So now we've got a place to put other things or rent it out. Who else is online? Anybody?
Just Cynthia again.
Okay, state your name.
Jeff Tran.
Jeff.
The question, how much has the county spent so far with this Justice Center discussion just from this year, like with workshops? Have we surpassed that 25,000 grand?
No.
So we're still within that, and the idea is
to
maintain within that budget?
That's right. We haven't spent anything at all, other than our time to watch it, do it, and help move it along to where we get it out. Right now, then the budget that we will spend forward, just right here, this thing right here, when we got everybody doing it, it says paid for by Custer County, Colorado. This the process of getting it before the people. We have to get, so we're not going to, it's not going to happen without somebody actually saying, I want to have a meeting. I want to get 3,000 people in here to see it. That's going to cost whatever it costs to get the meeting together.
And just a comment on the safety of the courthouse, I am correct me if I'm wrong, but do we not utilize the posse for the services at the courthouse? And if that is the case, shouldn't we be using more highly trained law enforcement officers to provide a higher level of safety?
I'm gonna let the sheriff answer that, but yes, the sheriff provides security, and there's a guard on the front door that's required by law. And he's the first level, and
It's not a posse.
It's not a posse. He's a full-fledged. And he's armed.
Salary is paid for by judicial.
And that salary is paid for by the underfunded courts grant.
Yeah.
So I misunderstand. Thank you.
See, because it is a requirement, it's a statute or a state. Cindy, you go ahead and.
Yeah, no, thanks for the clarification on the constitutional versus the statutory. And, I don't have a law background, but it sounds like in the statutory situation, you're using another law earlier that you found that's going to be a precedent, and that's what you're planning to use as your legal defense if this wildfire resiliency code as a separate were to come to a head.
Okay.
And just the comment to the gentleman that brought up the lease, like, I was there when that happened, and I think the issue there was you approved a lease purchase option, but you didn't go to the voters to spend that money. And then I think it ended up going as long-term debt on the county books anyway. So I think what we're hearing is you don't get enough people to show up to these meetings, but then you don't really put out the communications in a great way to get people to come to some of the meetings. So
okay,
if you want to improve communications, we have to know. And it's unfortunate when we get that information from Facebook to show up to a meeting and we're not really proactively involved up front. And that's the end of my comment. Thanks for.
Okay, thank you for your comment, but I'm gonna tell you, you're dead wrong. We represent the people. We made the choice at that time. The Board of Commissioners voted on it, and that's how it works. And in fact, you don't have to have anybody even make a comment. That's why I've tried to point out in the beginning of this meeting, we've bent over backwards to make sure we allow everybody to talk, and recognizing that you can't get 3,000 people in here. And so that's the point. This is a representative republic. That's what we are. We are your mouthpiece. And if you don't want us here, fire us. And that's happened in this county. I came in on a recall. I took over a commissioner's position. And that's why I've been here as long as I am. And it's happened twice. If you don't like what you see, fire us. That's why I say it all the time. I work for you guys. And I'm here not because I wanted to make any money, or not because I wanted to be shitty and steal money from the county and get payola like I see online, all this nonsense. I did it for the love of this county and the ability to have it go into the future for your future generations as well as mine. And so we do what best we can to listen to who we can and get it before people that can't. Go ahead, Dan.
I just want to emphasize that a lease purchase agreement is not a debt pursuant to Tabor.
That's right.
I think that there may be some confusion about that. Counties and local governments all across the state, including several situations for this county, we enter into lease purchase agreements for not just land, but also.
We buy graders on it.
Yeah, graders.
We can't commit the county to a long-term debt because the new commissioners and the new people change, life changes, requirements change. So it's not like the federal government, you get stuck with what they get. We have to live within a budget, and we have to be able to be flexible as the requirement is. So being flexible on this courtroom is a little bit different, but in the end, if we keep saying no and no and no, we'll find out what'll happen. But we're trying to be as open and transparent as we can to make sure everybody has a shot at it. And we haven't gotten to that point yet. This is he's wrapping up here in a few weeks. Okay, somebody else.
Klein Kenzora, I don't think the people are against a new system, but at what cost?
That's what we gotta find. We're gonna find out.
These are the judges, the lawyers, it's not safety, but it's not safety for the inmate either.
No, and you're right.
Not good.
It's the
But at
cost.
what cost do we wanna do it?
Right.
So bring it to the people, we the people,
That's what we're gonna do.
yeah, we'll vote on it.
When we don't know the cost yet.
Well, yeah.
And as soon as we know the cost, it's gonna go before you if it continues, and you'll know, yes or no. Is it 30 million or 100 million? Well, I don't know.
And you know,
Like Ann's got a question.
That's appropriate. The committee originally started with over 30 people. And we had a lot of time, experts in jail design, courtroom design that are used in all over the country that donated their time. Some of them were worth $1,000 a day.
Including judges.
Yeah, Judge Hunter, everything. I think as I hear everybody, the thing that you're not there, you don't see it, but there's a lot of critical analysis that goes into and questioning. Do we do this? Is this a good idea? No, that won't work. This will work. It's not a slam dunk rubber stamp.
Right.
And that's what has to happen now. We did surveys, we did newspaper ads, we did Facebook stuff, every possible way. And it was always amazing to me that people still didn't know. So, yeah, the marketing, look at it, analysis, how do we get it out better? I mean, did tours, you probably did 20 tours, they went to every group.
And those tours only had 3 people in them in some cases.
It's gonna take people. You wanna be on the committee, I've seen people say, I wanna help, I wanna be on it, they're all.
Matter of fact, we need to do that.
So anyway, I just want people to realize a lot of heartfelt, critical analysis goes into this.
Right.
For the good.
And it's gonna continue from here forward yet. Design even later. And like I said, And if it is approved, there's still opportunity to change the design and contribute to the architecture, whatever. And then as we get funds to build it.
We have the
If we go.
ability to use all the work that was already put into it, to adapt and change it.
Yeah, we're lucky that they didn't come up with an idea initially that said one courtroom and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now we have the ability to take what was there, it's valid, didn't change except the cost. And that's the critical thing that this whole 25K is all about. Get the cost on the new design, the single design that's streamlined.
When is the next committee or workshop meeting?
Depends on when the architect is done with the costing. And that's on the schedule. We can put that out of the schedule itself. Now, whether he meets it or not, how they slip back and forth. But as soon as it is, then we will call a meeting, a big meeting, and we'll look at where the starting. Here's the actual footprint and the cost projected. And that's based on their analysis and the cost of other courtrooms in the state today. That's how they costed it out. And that's, and they know different climates have different requirements, so it's not quite the same everywhere, but.
So the next time, so it's not that you haven't set that meeting, but the next time you set that meeting, you get, assuming that it's before you have a county commissioners meeting before that.
Oh, yeah, we'll have a meeting.
In your report, maybe you could say, we have a committee meeting set for.
That's that. Yeah.
This day, this time.
Well, we'll have BOCC meetings are a lousy place to have it because there's too many other things to have it. We would need a focused meeting on this only and get as many people. And we've done that. We've rented Lang Hall. We'll rent the school. If you want to pack the stadium into the school, we'll do it there. That'd be great. You get them to know what they're voting on, if it goes to the vote, or help design the tweaking in there. Because other than that, I see on these Facebook things, people I've never seen in my life make a comment. Well, there goes Canada again. Doesn't even know who I am. Doesn't know. Just somebody told him, well, Canada's got a legacy he's trying to make for himself. It's not me.
Don't look at Facebook.
I don't believe in. Yeah, go ahead, Taylor.
This is Taylor Lopresti. I don't mean to throw a wrench into things, but I think probably 90% of our constituency agrees that something has to be done.
Right.
I think it would go over a lot better if you gave folks a lower cost option. Meaning, we have two options. We can build new. We can do nothing, or we can build on existing. And building on existing is 40% of the cost of building new. So if that's an option.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what we can do, Taylor. That was done. And it turned out that was impossible because the building isn't. Have you been under the courtroom? Come with me in a little bit and I'll take you under the catacombs underneath of what's there today. And they pieced it together. But the point is, those were done, but that doesn't mean we can't do it again. But that takes money to do. And that would be a whole new, we spent a lot of time and money on it. And we were paid to do it at that point because we had the underfunded grant to establish that requirement. And that's what Ann pointed out. We've already crossed a lot of that already. I think what you hit on and everybody's hitting on, what matters now is people understanding where we are and what the real cost is going to project to be. And then hopefully that we can manage it. Warfano County went broke trying to manage theirs and they actually took bankruptcy because of it. That's what I understand. That courthouse over there got them in trouble.
Okay, thanks.
Good, thank you for the comment. Okay, anybody else? I really appreciate everybody. We do. You got anything to say with this?
No, and if you have questions, please email me. I got a couple emails on this yesterday.
Yeah,
I answered them this morning, so please email me.
Yeah,
questions, comments. I know that the one Facebook post has me as District 2 and Paul is District 3. I'm
people don't even 3. Know.
You've talked for half an hour. Please.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right.
So please reach out. Either call me or email me. But I am District 3 and Paul is District 2. So
Could you guys put it in the paper a couple of weeks earlier when you have your next workshop about this justice?
Yeah, we'll absolutely try to do that.
Put it in the paper.
Yeah, we can
I'm
now.
not on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not going.
yeah, we can do that.
Okay,
No,
keep in
good
mind,
suggestion. Thank you.
that's a good point. Paper has a schedule with sometimes.
Yeah,
Besides,
gotta get in there early.
gotta be careful.
No, I'm still.
Yeah, we can do that.
I'll add to what Lucas just said about communicate with us, email us, call us. And normally one of us here are gonna be returning to the office and just, let Caitlin know that you're interested in speaking with us, whatever. There's trying to get out and about in my district anyhow, because it's so rural. You're talking about not having Facebook or anything. They don't, some of those people out in my area don't even have telephones.
I don't.
So.
Yeah, smoke signals.
Just smoke signals, and then the fire department gets in trouble, they come after me. But no, please,
Yeah.
open communication is the best way to either find out what's going on, what's the truth, and what's projected forward. And it's been a lot of hearsay.
Yeah.
And we want to get that narrowed down to some factual, information to everybody. So please call us or contact us.
Yeah, I apologize for talking too much.
No, it's fine.
That's good. Make a good point. Anybody else? Time is it? I'll adjourn this meeting and, whoop, got another question.
You still have public comments.
Oh, in it.
You did.
We just had public comment.
So it's open.
You got any? Yeah, we had a discussion. That's right. It was a discussion, Jim. Any comments other than this? You want to go buy another grader or anything else? Okay, here
Is there an avenue besides Facebook? That you can't get the word out, instead of us bugging you every day or every week
you could
saying, hey.
you're right
There
there.
it is, right there.
All the agendas for all workshops, all of their tentative schedules for the week. They are posted on the commissioner's website, or the county page. There is also a calendar of events that everything is posted on as well.
And the sheriff has on his page too, there's a transparency tab. Pick it, there's a lot of things happen there too.
That's independent of Facebook.
Yeah,
Good.
it's all with it's the website. Each office has a website if they want.
Right. And then email and text messages, we all have phones, so.
Some of us
Two
have
are also
two.
available to come into our phones and get answers that way or.
Thank you.
Any more comments? Hearing none, then I will adjourn this meeting at 11:21.